pause before the video begins. Okay, here's the promotion, alright? If you want to skip it, the timestamp should be somewhere in the middle of the screen for about 3 seconds. Should be gone now. Alright, now here. This is the person who I did the video with. Mr. Meehman07. He makes content that's a variety, such as Fnaf AR, Fnaf, Pizza Tower. He makes a ton of videos and such. You should go check it out. You should go check it out and such. He makes these type of videos. If you look at the popular, you might recognize these type of videos on your recommendations, but overall, you should definitely check it out. He makes great videos and such, and he's also overall just a cool, funny guy to be as a friend and such. So go check him out. You guys have seen him on my streams. I'll have his link in the description to go check out his channels, and let's go into the tier list. Bye-bye. Helmet Ninjas, welcome back. Today's video is a tier list, because I have no video idea yet, and the next one I have thinking about is probably going to take a solid few months. Alright. Anyways, welcome to the tier list. Today we have Fnaf games, because, you know, Fnaf movie just came out. Fnaf movie just came out, and it's basically the trending topic for a good little bit until the Fnaf movie starts to trend downwards, because people don't watch anymore, and the hype train of it is gone. But for now, we're going to rank the games of it. Between Fnaf 1 to Ruin, the ones I have played, and on the other mic, or however you would like to say it, I have Mr. Meehman007, aka James.
Meehman07. Hello.
You guys have seen through streams. He also does his own channel. You know, the usual description stuff. And his video will be linked. Oh, well, his video will be linked too. You guys want to see that as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on this. I'll see. I might just take the...
Yeah.
I'll just record on OBS.
And then very simple. We're just going to be ranking each game. S, A, B, C, D, and then ones that I never played. I haven't played any of these. James has played some of them as well, so he'll do his own ranking. I'll have it part of the video too. We're going to go in order, and then from there, we're just going to debate and such. Very simple. We have an S, an A, a B, a C, and a D.
Yep.
Alright, we begin with the Fnaf 1. I think, in my opinion, this is S tier. Why? Oh yeah, real quick. I'm not worrying about lore. I'm just worrying about enjoyment of the game and the aspects of it, because if we did lore... and
like characters and ambience and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. What does Fnaf 1...
Lore-wise, I still think Fnaf 1 would be high, because Fnaf 1's lore is, like, actually, like, you could understand what's actually going on. I think, personally, probably, like, an S or A. I do think it's really good.
I am giving... Oh, wow, my mic's high. I am giving the Fnaf 1 a S tier. Why? Because it makes sure that every single addition to the game is very important. The cams, you need to know where the animatronics are. Every single night, you need to use them no matter what. You need to know where Freddy is. What side of the door is he on? Is he on the left? Is he on the right? So now you can close it and then go open up your cams to make sure where Foxy is. Is Foxy out of his cove? You gotta make sure what phase he's in, so now that you know when you need to close that door. You need to make sure you conserve power. You gotta check the lights for Chica and Bunny. There's all these additions to the games makes it a great game to play. You can get on and have fun. The ambient sounds also helps you too. If you can't figure out, like Freddy and such, he'll laugh what side he'll be on and whenever he needs to move and such. It helps out in every single way. There's all the additions to the games and such have a purpose. The cams have a purpose. The lights have a purpose. The doors. And even the story tells you 1 to 5 what's going on. Why are you in here in the first place? Why are you here at 5 nights? And if you also want challenge, you could always do 420 mode. That shit was 7 hours for Markiplier. I haven't done it. I would be really funny if I did. But actually, you get the point.
Yeah. I do agree with everything you're saying. Fnaf 1 had the best. Everything in it just works very well. Like it does, as you'll see with the next game, which we'll talk about soon. Everything has a purpose. Every single character has a different mechanic, and they're also very well in depth. Like Freddy's entire mechanic is very well implemented, and he's like a actual threat. The cameras and the lights and the doors all have their own unique like reason. As you'll see in the next game, cameras just become less and less important as the games go on.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Cameras are very well implemented, and all the models look really good. Like the characters all stand out. They're all different and unique. The ambience is very good. There's a lot of iconic moments in it. It's got Phone Guy. It's got the Turtle March. Everything's just really good in that game.
And as well,
I'm gonna bump it up to S.
He said S as well. James says S.
And
as well as Fnaf 1, to quickly wrap things up, it also has Easter eggs you can see throughout the game as well with the posters and stuff. And also, you also, of course, have the secret character, Golden Freddy, you can always see throughout the game as well, which is also a really nice touch that you can see. Like, throughout the games, you can do, like, oh, it's Golden Freddy. It's also like something that's really cool. But overall, I think FNAF 1 is an S tier. I think it's I think it's top 3 game in my opinion because it makes the aspects of it like scary, it's frightening, and it also makes sure that every single aspect in the game, the cams, the lights, the doors, etc., is used perfectly and well designed throughout the nights.
Yes, and I will say it also aged very well. As you'll see with some other games, they don't
Yeah.
age as well. That we'll talk about later. Like
Yeah,
it actually aged for being the first game. It actually probably aged the best out of all of them.
Because you're
like,
able to come back to the game and still have fun.
Yeah. And like even if you play it nowadays, like if like say you've never played Five Nights at Freddy's 1, you play it nowadays, it'd still be considered scary to new players.
Yeah.
Alright. Now on to FNAF 2.
FNAF 2. Alright, here's the problem, right? So
I'll let you talk about it, then I'll talk about it.
What did they do in this game? Alright, so first off, we had 5 animatronics. I'm kind of going Freddy because you can still see him in the game. I mean, can you get jump scared by going Freddy in FNAF 1?
Yes, you can. There's
Oh yeah, yes you can. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
that.
I'll let you talk.
So you can get jump scared by that. However, they added a ton more animatronics. Obviously, you have the old one still with Golden Freddy, but they added Balloon Boy. I mean, JJ, like you can. I think JJ has an appearance, but you can't get jump scared by her.
Characters.
You have the Paper Pals. That you see it, but it doesn't really count, of course.
Yeah. Paper Pals.
No, but there's Mangle, there's Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy now. That's 4. The new Foxy, right? New Foxy or no?
Yeah, Mangle. Yeah, Mangle's there.
Oh, Mangle. Yeah, that's 4 new animatronics. That's now 8, unless I'm missing one. Well, I already said.
I'm trying to think. There's 4 toys, 4 withered Golden Freddy, Puppet, Balloon Boy, and then if you also count if you count like the Easter egg characters, you got Shadow Freddy, Shadow Bonnie, JJ,
so all those characters.
Yeah.
All those characters add up to at least around 10 animatronics you have to deal with. Now, why is that a bad thing? Well, here's the problem, right? So the doors are gone. You have lights, all right? You have 4 bars of lights that you have to deal with. However, the cams are useless now. The only thing you have to have on is just the music box.
Yeah.
If you watch Markiplier's thing or have played it of FNAF 2, you can see that all you have to do is for cameras, pull it up, check the music box, wound it up, and then just light all 3. Because you don't have to worry about any other cams besides that specific one. Because you just wind the music box, which then defeats the entire purpose. And then it just turns into flashing the lights of each the 3 the hallway in the front and the 2 vents on the sides. It defeats the purpose of what the first one was trying to tell you. You have to watch the cams, you have to get the doors, etc. This time they were like, let's add a ton of animatronics and let's make it a little bit overwhelming because how many there are. The audio cues, everything, it's just too much.
It's a lot. But Here, I'll wait till you're done. I'll wait till you're done.
The Freddy mask was a cool addition, though. I do like the idea. Where if Toy Chica or Toy Bonnie's in the room, or Withered Bonnie, you could put up the mask, and any Withered character, and then the Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, you put up the mask, they're gone. That is kind of like the door stuff that they have for FNAF 1, but it defeats the purpose that we were trying to see from FNAF 1, that you wanted to carry it over to the next game. But then they just added the Freddy mask. I mean, I think personally for me, I don't think they did it that well. But the story that they tell us is kind of like, I think it kind of like starts to see like how like lore is intended. Of course, I'm not trying to say it. I'm not trying to make this off lore, but like the story they tell us is like, they're kind of telling you about it's like kind of like the first one, but also like behind the first one. It's kind of like confusing.
Yeah, I feel like actually the lore in FNAF 2, I know that we're not going to be talking about that much about lore, but the lore in FNAF 2 is actually really good. Like, up till 3, even with 4, I don't really see what's wrong with 4. The lore is fine because it's, like, comprehensive, it's easy to understand, it's told to you well, there's no stupid Fazgoo, or Remnant, or Agony, or whatever. So, are you done, or...?
No, I was just letting you finish up.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my ranking. I really, really, really love this game, even though it has so many flaws. It is not nearly as good as the original. The characters are really good in this game. I really love all the designs.
Are very good.
They're all I think it's the best in the entire franchise.
That's fair.
Withered Freddy looks like an actual animatronic. Like, his design is very unique, even though he has, like, the least withering. Withered Bonnie looks awesome with his face off. Withered Chica with her giant gaping jaw. Withered Foxy's kind of... he's probably my least favorite out of the main cast, but like at the same time, he's also very good. Like his design is strong, just not as strong as the rest. There's Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy. They're all amazing. Mangle, everyone. The ideas here are very good. The sound effects, even though I don't know if they're as strong as FNAF 1 was.
I don't think the ambience is as good as the first game, but still like the thing about FNAF 2 is that like it went a little bit downgraded from FNAF 1, but it's still a great game that you can play, that you can get on, you can still have fun.
The main downgrade is just the lack of diversity between how the characters actually play.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming.
The majority of the gameplay is having your camera on the prize corner, winding up the box for the puppet, and then putting down your camera, and then flashing the middle hallway 5 times. Or no, so the gameplay loop of FNAF 2 is very RNG focused. The entire time you're doing, you pull up the camera, you wind up the box for a couple seconds, you pull it down, throw back on the mask because you're gonna get like attacked by a random animatronic. You flash the hallway 5 times, you throw back on the mask. Doesn't matter about the vents, doesn't matter about anything. You just watch the middle hallway, watch that camera, and throw on the mask. And it's not that you're gonna win because the majority of the time it comes down to RNG for how many threats attack you.
Yeah, most of these FNAF games are about RNG. Like FNAF 1, you gotta hope that like for example with 420 mode on freaking FNAF 1, you have to hope that Foxy doesn't run at you more than 3 times, or else you're screwed.
Yeah. I think other than Ultimate Custom Night, FNAF 2 might have the most RNG out of every game. Other than UCN, because UCN's an entirely different beast, which we'll get to. FNAF 2 as a whole, I really do love the game. It has problems, but I think I just love, like, there's so many aspects I love about it. Like, even the ambience, the FNAF hallway sound, and, like, the sounds Mango makes, and all the models and everything are just really strong in the game, that I actually just prefer them over FNAF 1, even though FNAF 1's a better game.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So where would you rank FNAF 2, Mr.
Put it in
Mr.
S
James?
as well. I put it in S.
I put it in A personally for me. I don't think it's on top like that. Okay.
It doesn't deserve the S, but I put it in
that
S.
Makes sense. Of course,
right.
opinions. Next one up is FNAF 3. Now, I think in my opinion, if we were at the time that this game came out, I think this game would be like one of the best games we all know. But I think right now for me, like I think we're going downhill. I think we're going down a ladder for me. I give this a B. Now, why is this a B? All right, let me explain. First things first, you have one animatronic to deal with. That's called Springtrap. What happened? What about the other ones, Dylan? What about the Phantoms? Just go to another camera. What? Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Thanks, game. Yeah. Wow. So you throw in, you still have, like 5, 6 now. You go back to like the first. You don't do too much like the second. However, almost all of them besides one aren't even to worry about, because if you see one, flip the camera. That's what quick as you get. If you have good reflexes, you flip the camera. Done. You don't have to deal with them. If you are not quick enough though, those will be a very annoying thing to deal with. And Springtrap, you have the Balloon Boy audio that you can just camera, audio. Now, of course, there's 2 audio checks per night, of course, so you have to make sure you check that too. But as long as you have the rhythm down, it can be very repetitive and underwhelming and not that fun. However, each of the night tells you the story of why you are here, which also makes it why I do not think that this game could be a C tier at all, because the story that it tells is also very well done. The designs, I don't think that they're that bad, but I think they're not as good as the second or first one, though, because they look pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But they're worthy of an animatronic. Like, they're worthy of what you can see. And throughout the game, there's these little Easter eggs that you can see from here and there throughout the nights that you can progress. Like, there's so many cool Easter eggs you can see. It's awesome, personally. And, like, the way that Springtrap looks at you throughout the cameras is also really intriguing. The vents are interesting. I like the idea how you can't always be on the cams. You can't always be on the cams, because you have to go to your left and worry about the ventilation system, the audio error, the video system, which then gives Springtrap time to move, which is also very intriguing. But overall, I don't think that this is as good as the first 2, and I think this is one more forgotten games that people will be like, what FNAF game I want to play? And no one's gonna be like, I want to play FNAF 3. They're gonna be asking for like the first, the second, UCN, etc. I think this one aged very poorly, but it's not as, I don't think it's as bad as like people would say.
So I was not around during the hype for FNAF 3. I know it's actually like the most anticipated game in the entire franchise. Like, a lot of people say that was the best time in the community. But there's a lot of aspects I do like in this game. Springtrap's design is very good. Like, it's very well done, even though there's a couple like weird things. Like, there's a couple weird design choices, like his weird intestines around his legs and stuff. But he still looks really cool. The Phantoms have a weird problem where they're all recolors of already existing models. Mm-hmm. Like, Scott reused
the
Wizards, and
like
he reused
green and black.
FNAF 1 Chica, and just made them green and black. And the other problem with the Phantoms are that their mechanics, like you said, are most of them, other than Phantom Foxy and Phantom Freddy, are all on cameras. So they're all either Balloon Boy or Mangle, and some of them, like the Puppet and Chica, for some reason are only locked to one camera, so you see them even less. Like, but I don't know why Chica's strictly on that one. She's only on one arcade cabinet in the entire game.
Hell, you don't even
Foxy's
see where the hell
the
Foxy and Chica is this entire time. You don't even know where the hell they are. They just pop up on your screen somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see the Puppet, you'll see Balloon Boy, but you will never see Foxy. You'll never see Chica unless you see that one specific screen.
Foxy camps you out on the screen. Are you talking about Mangle?
No. I'm talking about Phantom. Wait, Phantom Mangle's
Mangle's on the cameras. Phantom Foxy's the one that guards your thing. If you look over, you get jump scared by Phantom Foxy. He's actually like a threat. Like the only one that isn't a camera related one.
Yeah, that's like you can see the point that me and James are agreeing here. Yeah. The Phantoms don't really pose a threat besides maybe like a few of them.
Yeah, I like the color palette in the game. I like the greens and stuff. It looks good. I just like how the game looks. The game looks cool. But it's just kind of like not. It doesn't have. Like I don't want to rank it low, but it's just kind of it didn't age as well, like you said. It has a good story though. It tells the story well. The mini games are cool. Springtrap's awesome. Everything's cool.
I mean, I think my favorite Easter egg in the game is that right by the door on your left, that Springtrap has to come through. You can see a little box there that has all the FNAF 2 stuff, which is really cool to see. Yeah. You can see all the little masks and stuff. I think that's a cool little addition you can have, and also all the papers you can see all around the area, like Balloon Boy. You can see Chica. I think that's a really awesome way to throw in Easter eggs throughout the game.
Yeah, and the teasers are very cool for the game. Like the teasers that he released beforehand, they all look really cool. And I don't actually mind Springtrap's jump scare. I know that's a thing a lot of people complain about.
I don't think it's...
No, it's not. It's not scary, but I like how smooth it looks, and I like the sound of like. I don't know how to make it, but it's just like it. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's not scary though.
Where would you rank it, Mr. James?
I'm probably gonna put it in B as well. Maybe I'll get dropped down to C because I think I'm being nice to them early, and I think later on I'm gonna see other better games, and they might get dropped down.
Also, I do want to note for everyone else that before I hop onto FNAF 4, we're also ranked during in between tiers. So like, let's say if I want to say like Pizzeria assuming there's an A, I'm gonna also rank it in between which one's better. So if I say Pizzeria assuming is better than FNAF 2 in the A tier, I'm gonna move that in the front. I'm moving it in the front as in terms of what game is better.
Right, are you ready?
FNAF 4! Now,
I actually do not have much to say about this, so you can go first.
Now, I've seen people play it. Of course, Markiplier and such. I've seen my cousins play it. Hell, I've seen my cousins. Dad beat freaking Night 2, alright? That's the funniest part, alright? What does FNAF 4 do that's far more different? Now, people say that this is the scariest game in the franchise. What do I say about that? It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. If you're doing definitely scariest, put that shit in the S tier, bro. Yeah. Put that shit in the S tier for the most scary.
It's scarier than FNAF 1.
I'd be very shocked if we do not say it's top 3 for scariest. However, that's not the point. The point of this is...
I don't like the horror in this game. It's just kind of like listening, and it just blows out your eardrums.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm about to say right here. James had definitely just got the point. What does FNAF 4 do that's different from the others? Where are the cameras? Nope, they're gone this time. Alright? They decided, hey, let's make sure we emphasize the need for the cameras from FNAF 3. Hey, let's just grab a little piece of paper and throw that out. Alright? This time for FNAF 4, it's listening. Because if you got background noise, like for example, I have Cameron that you guys can see the background stuff. If he was here and I'm playing FNAF 4, there's no way in hell you're surviving. You have to have your mic all the way turned up to like 150 to hear the breathing. You have to hear breathing in order to survive. You go through these 2 doors. The door's already closed, obviously. You have to hear breathing, and if you do, you have to close the door. Then wait for them to trick their way through. And then if you don't, you open the door, you shine a light, and you're done. Then you move back. And now, you'll be like, don't you have to keep on doing that? Well, later on the nights, you have to go to the middle, check on Foxy, make sure you open it, shine a light on him, then close it, and wait till he becomes a plush. And then behind you, while you have to deal with all that, you have freaking what was it? Is it Phantom? No, it's not Phantoms. It's
the Nightmares.
Nightmare Freddy.
Oh yeah, Nightmare Freddy and the
Nightmare Freddy has freaking 4 plushies, which if you don't shine a light on them, he's gonna jump scare you. And then you have Cupcake, which I don't know how the hell you even trigger him.
I don't remember. There's a reason why he triggers. I don't remember though.
But just like the the thing about the game is that like it's keeps those aspects of like FNAF with like the lights and stuff, but it defeats like the purpose of trying to like emphasize on like how FNAF is played. It completely throws away the original idea and makes it reinvent an idea I do not like. That's the thing. There's like less animatronics, but it's more weird, you know? The thing that gets carried about this, though, is how the story is. Every single day, you see this crying child talking about tomorrow's another day, leading up to this birthday party. And then you see what happens at the very end and why he was crying this entire time. And you see why these guys are wearing these masks and stuff. It tells the story while you're trying to pass through, which is also really cool. And I also think that the custom nights and stuff is also cool. You have freaking Golden Fredbear you have to do. That's a cool mode.
Yeah,
That's an awesome mode.
Nightmare Fredbear.
Yeah. And then obviously the 820 mode. Now, I think my favorite part of this game is the plush trap minigame. This is the first time you have an actual like minigame that is actually like part of the game. Like not like an Easter egg minigame. This is like a physical minigame that is part of the actual like game. That's not like a side.
It rewards you for doing well too.
Yeah,
it gives you,
it's not like a side
2
Easter egg. By you completing the plush trap in 90 seconds, because where he has to move and you have to make sure you shine light on that X, you get to skip 2 hours. That's 1/3 of the night already done for you. That is a good rewarding for you, which makes it less annoying having to go through the same thing. I don't think that this is a game. I don't think this is a game I always will come back to. But for this, I think I'm gonna give it C because how much negative impact, how much a negative I'm giving it over positives, which is why I think it's a C. I don't think I'm gonna put it ever in D, but for C, like I'll play it, but it's something that I cannot like. I can't give it like an A or such, or I can't go down. I think it just sticks at a C. It's like it's an alright game. It's alright. I can play it, but it's not like up top of FNAF. Like I'm not gonna choose right away.
So I kind of have similar opinions to it. I feel like it's not my favorite game. I haven't even like played very much of it. I own it. I haven't played very much of it, but it clearly had a lot of work put into it. All the nightmares every single one of them took 2 weeks for Scott to model every single one of them, and they all look really good. Even though I'm not big fans on their designs, like I don't think many of them stick out per se. Like they don't have like the little details that separate them like the Wizards do, but they do look very good. The environment looks good. There's a lot of like intricacies with the gameplay. Like you can prevent Foxy from ever getting into the thing. You can prevent like you could tell exactly like if you hear banging in the kitchen, you could tell that you can actually hear kitchen, knowing that Chica's not going to attack for a while. And there's like little things like that makes the game better because it has like little design quirks that you could do to learn to get better, like with sound cues. And it also introduced the Halloween update, which brought the Jackos, which I really do like. I very much like the Jackos.
Those designs are very good. Those designs are very good.
I prefer them over the original Nightmares. You have Plush Trap, you have Nightmare BB with their minigame, which is also very good. I think it's a fun minigame. I think it's good that it rewards you for playing well, and you only get like one shot to do it. I think it's interesting. It doesn't have you don't see it in any other game.
It's a risk and reward thing. If with Plush Trap, if you manage to get it, then you get 2 hours on that specific attempt. Because if you fail, you won't get it again. You have to go through this full 6 hours. So it's a risk and reward thing. If you get it, you get to start. You have an advantage, but you also could have a disadvantage if you don't make it through.
Yeah, and if you lose the night, like if you play and you have the 2 hours off, you lose the night. You don't get the 2 hours back.
Yeah, so you have to start at 12.
I also do like it brought in some really good character designs. Like I personally think Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare Renee are like two of the best looking characters in the entire franchise. They look really good. They're very scary. They look awesome. I do think I'm probably gonna put the game in C as well. It doesn't really stick out to me. Like it's probably my least favorite out of the mainline games, even though it clearly had a lot of work put into it.
Yeah.
And Scott tried really hard on it. It just doesn't really click with me. I don't really know. It's never been one of my favorites, but I definitely maybe if we do another tier list like from a year from now, and I play through the entire game and I love it and I think it's great, it'll change spots. Like, because it's kind of been growing on me recently. I've been liking FNAF 4 more and more recently, but it's still not like my favorite game.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I also want to remind everyone that these 4 games came out within like 2 years. Like
no, these all in the same year.
They all came out in 2015.
I don't think they all came out in 2015, but it was in the span of a year. Like FNAF 1 came out in August. I think FNAF 4 came out in July, I believe. So it wasn't in 2015, but it was in the span of a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Span of a year of that FNAF 1 release. Like that. It's like
FNAF 1 came out in August
That's like
FNAF
about
4 came
3
out in
months of
July.
development, and you have 3 games that you can come back and say it's good. That's impressive.
Mhm.
All right.
They all stick out. They're all unique. Okay. Oh yeah, FNAF World's next.
No, yeah, you can finish up your thing, and we'll go on to.
No. I'm good. I got my thoughts
Okay.
out.
What was your thought? What you said you ranked it as C, right?
Yes, I think it's C.
Okay.
I,
Now
I,
this
think,
is
I think FNAF World might be where we differ.
now here's the thing. So we're gonna go to what Scott says he wants to forget everyone to forget about this game. This is FNAF World, right? What is FNAF World? Okay, so first off, it's a spin-off, but it is a mainline game. I want to remind you. What is FNAF World?
It was like considered a mainline game.
It is like a kids type game of FNAF. Very simple. It's an open world. Very simple. You have a set amount of characters, and your job is to take out this. Basically, take out Scott Cawthon. Actually, his goal is to take out this person. You go around. You basically fight enemies throughout the game by using attacks like Chica's like pizza party, Balloon Boy's like balloons. Like you do like there's like abilities and stuff that can heal, can actually weak your opponents. There's other stuff you can do throughout the game. It's basically a card game and also an open world like the exact same way, just like that. Or like a Dungeons and Dragons like type of thing, the best way I can explain it. And you progress through, you gain more characters that jump onto your team. They have different abilities and such. It's overall a very cool game. I think it's overall great. However, it's nowhere near an A or an S, but I think I can definitely say that this is a good game. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. I can hop on. I can have a lot of fun for a solid 30 minutes, and I can say that was fun. I think I can get on. I can say I had fun. There's things in the game that lets you go through. There's these cool Easter eggs. Like, if you go all the way down, you can go freaking visit the fisherman. That comes back in UCN, mind you. Yeah, which is also really cool. And there's a connection there's a connection with UCN and FNAF World that you can have with that Easter egg for those trophies, which is also really cool to see. There's different trophies you can get throughout the game, which lets you rewards yourself for playing more and more and trying to go for the 100% if you are a completionist for that type of game. But overall, I think I can hop on. I could say it's a fun game, and that's it. You attack with cool abilities, different characters you can play throughout the series. The designs, I think is actually pretty well made. The Freddy looks awesome. Bonnie looks awesome. Chica, I wouldn't say so, but like throughout the games, throughout the characters that you see, the designs were made really well.
Yeah.
All right, now James has some different stories about this. Let's see what he says.
I don't actually know if my stories are different. I didn't think you were gonna rank it that high. I love this game. I personally really do love this game. I probably have it's not my most played FNAF game. I probably have like 30 hours in it, but I really do love this. Maybe not 30, probably more like 25. I really do love this game. I think it might go in A. I don't think it's S, sadly. I don't think it's S.
I do agree. I think the game I can get repetitive. I think that's why it's not an S. I think it can get repetitive. And the hard mode doesn't really help. Like the hard mode doesn't help because you're just fighting bosses. Like the hard mode is where you have a set grinding. You choose a set amount of characters and then you cannot gain anything else.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fixed Party. The game, like, visually looks great. The soundtrack is also very good. This is the first game that Scott got Leon Riskin, the actual like person who makes the soundtrack for the games. Because the first couple games were all stock music, stock sound effects, stock music. It's very charming. It's got good characters. The Halloween update is actually amazing. Like the Halloween update is so good.
Yeah.
Everything about it's awesome. Other than Chica's Magic Rainbow, I actually hate that. What was I gonna say? It's just it's very charming. It's got a lot of like Scott clearly wanted to make it, but when he made it, he felt ashamed by it.
Yeah.
Because afterward he posted teasers where it's like Mangle like hanging herself for some reason. I don't know why he'd do that, but I very much love this game. Like it's very charming. It's very it's just fun to play. Like it's not difficult per se. It's got grinding in it, but like
you have to put a lot of time and effort to get those good characters, get those type of things. But also
once you get the good characters, it's just you turn off your brain.
You can go like there's different like worlds that send you to like another section of the universe that has these cool like wordings, Easter eggs, like how you could play FNAF in space, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it also
cool mini games and such.
It introduced Lobit too, which Lobit's a W.
Yeah.
Lobit's a W character. And like DD, also, even though DD's annoying, DD's got a good design, just like a good color palette. And Mendo's cool. Everything about this game is just good. It's great. I don't think it could be. Yeah,
I don't think it can be an A or S as well. I think it's just because it's too repetitive and such. And also, I think, in my opinion, I think FNAF World has aged so well.
Yeah,
in the past few years. I think it's I think people are starting to say it's much more better as people thought of.
Yeah, there's been a shift with the opinion on FNAF World and the opinion on the next game that we're gonna be talking about, which I'll talk about after this.
People
But
hate on
FNAF
sister
World,
location.
yeah, Sister Location's kind of been under heat recently
All right, we'll go
in the
through that in a
community.
moment.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Other than that, I think like FNAF World over time has become more beloved. It actually got merchandise. There's recently been a merch line by Funko, who's it's based off FNAF World, and
That's cool.
there's a secret project being worked on by Click Team, and I think it might be FNAF World 2. But we'll see.
That'd be really funny.
That's my sister location.
So we're on to the next section, which I think is almost the halfway point. Once we get this,
we're
we're
almost
gonna hit
halfway.
the second half. So we're on to sister location. First off, this is what I did not know what this was, and this was actually custom night. We are going to include custom night with this because this is part of the game. That stream is part of the game. Like there's no like story-wise different. I mean, besides the.
Well, yeah.
Besides William Afton just being funny, but like that doesn't really.
The storyline difference, it just kind of shows how Michael deteriorates over time from like being a part of it, and then him spitting out Ennard, and then him meeting his dad. Like meeting Dark Springtrap in quotation marks because he's missing his pelvis. That's a different character, you know that, right? When he runs into Springtrap at the ending of the game, that's considered a different character named Dark Springtrap because he's missing a pelvis. It's so stupid. All right.
Where do I put sister location? All right, let's talk about some positives and negatives. All right. So very simple. What does it do? It tells this story about Circus Baby. All right. This entire game is about Circus Baby. All right. You can click in the mini games. You're playing as Circus Baby, and you freaking scoop William Afton's daughter. Right. Yeah. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the entire purpose of this story was to protect William Afton's daughter, or I believe the entire purpose of this entire area, like entire location, was to protect William Afton's daughter, which they failed with Circus Baby, but that's not the point.
Actually made to kill kids, but he told his daughter not to go. He told Elizabeth not to go over to her. Yeah. She just didn't care. She went, lol, I don't care.
She wanted to go.
And she got killed, Yeah.
You start off as this person, right? You're going down the elevator. The people, you get yourself your username and stuff. And throughout the nights, you're checking through Circus Baby, you're checking through Ballora, and there's these errors that start to happen. All right, you check through each one. You do the Funtime Freddy one, you do Ballora, walk through. It's very unique to like the other FNAF games, personally for me. And then as you get closer and closer, as you get closer to the 4 stars, you then head to the scooping room, and then you get scooped because what? You're Henry Afton?
No, you're Michael Afton.
And then you're Michael Afton, and then you are Michael Afton because you're trying to do what? Like with the story, like
you're trying to save Baby. You're right. You're trying to save Baby in the game. I'm pretty sure, or you're trying to.
Well, yeah, because after you get to like night 5, you don't worry about the intercoms. You worry about Circus Baby because she haywires it basically. So like, the story really worries about like the story is centered around like the story is the main central of this game. Like there's no like night 1 and stuff. It's like you worry about the intercoms, but then as you get slowly progressive through, you hear Circus Baby in a noise, and you start to do what she says to do. How are the nights designed? Night 1 is very simple. Night 2 and such. It starts getting interesting on like night 3 and 4, where you have to get like Funtime Freddy. You have to do that rewiring for him, and then like do like that audio, which is really funny, like which is really cool. Also like that. And then night 4, I mean, it's like the hardest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Yeah, it got nerfed, but it's still pretty difficult.
It's very difficult. Really like you have to click each one basically, and then at like a set time you have to now go like 3/4 of the way, then halfway, then like 1/4. Like it's a set amount of time for 3 full minutes. It's insane.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. However, I think what makes this game great is the custom night in this. That is so well, like that is just well designed. You have low bit, you too many mini arenas for some reason. I don't know why.
However, two bitty babs. You have Bitty Bab and Peak Electro Bab. I love Electro Bab.
But I think the problem what they have with the custom nights is that like they all do like a set thing, but like the mini arenas, like they attack like auction. Like auction, I think was like a really bad idea. I think auction was not a good idea.
Understand why Baby and Ennard weren't in the custom night? 'Cause the custom night itself, even though it has lore, is not considered canon.
Well, Ennard has his own night. Ennard has his own custom night.
Ennard has his own night, but I feel like he still should have been included, or Baby should have been included. One of the two.
You add Ballora and Funtime Foxy and Freddy, but you don't add them. Like
it's also I think the reason why Baby wasn't included was because Scott didn't want Baby to be a threat in that game. Like it was supposed to Baby was supposed to be misleading you. She's supposed to be manipulating you. But then later on in the series, I kind of got thrown out because every single game after Sister Location, Baby has been a threat. Scrap Baby in Pizzeria Simulator. In
Mhm.
UCN, both Scrap Baby and Baby go after you. And Help Wanted, Baby goes after you. And AR Baby goes after you. She's not a ruin, but you get the deal. It
Yeah,
kind of
like
got thrown out the window, that idea of her trying to just be
yeah.
like a silent kill, not really even a silent killer. She just gets other people to do her dirty work for her. It kind of just got thrown out the window where she just kind
Yeah.
of does it herself.
Of course, I'm not trying to endure lore into this type of tier list, but you kind of have to assist location because that's what the entire purpose of the story was. You're helping out
Yeah.
Circus Baby, and you're kind of she brings you to the scooping room. You get scooped. I think the most hilarious part about this is that one, the exotic butters. I think that's the funniest part about
Yeah,
this
exotic butters are good.
because they even call you exotic butters, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they call you Eggs
The
Benedict.
freaking face pad not working, make you casual bongos like type music. That's always funny. And I believe the end, and in the end of the night, you get to watch a good old show and just eat some good old popcorn. And I think that's why that the little additions to the games I think bring this up to an A for me personally. I enjoyed the nights. I enjoy them. They're well designed. They're well thought out. But I think the way that this game gets carried through is the story and the funny little Easter egg additions that they have throughout the game. I think that's how, like the little funny side stuff that isn't really part of like the story and stuff. I think that's how it gets carried. I think it's how why it is an A. But I do definitely will say I would definitely take FNAF 2 though. It's way more built.
Yeah,
Over
I do actually really like the humor in this game. It's kind of people don't really like the humor that much anymore in this game. Like they think it's annoying, but I think it's very funny. So, Sister Location was the first game I actually became like when I became a fan of. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
agree.
joined.
I agree too.
I didn't join when
I
Sister
got
Location
in whenever.
was
Well,
out.
actually, I got in whenever FNAF World was a thing. Actually,
Yeah.
I was a FNAF person, but a FNAF World that got me into the game, which is funny. Where would you rank? Where would you rank Sister Location, Mr. James, and why?
I don't know. A Sister Location is really hard to rank because I actually think it aged pretty poorly. It has very good traits. I love all of the characters. Like the characters in this game, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, Baby. I do really like Baby, even though people don't like Baby because like they say Baby like helped ruin the like they just don't think Baby's very convincing. I think Baby's very like a cool character. It's got every character's got cool designs. It's more sci-fi. I don't really mind it because like the first couple games try to be more eerie, I guess you could say. Like they're more believable. They're less into sci-fi, which is what this game had, where like they're taking their faceplates apart. The custom night is very good. The music is pretty good. But it also brought voice acting in, which was another thing. That was new to the franchise, which I actually think was a bonus. I do really like the voice acting in the majority of the games. Funtime Freddy has an amazing voice, like Kellen Goff, like yeah, he kills it as his voice. I don't know if it might be a B. I don't if this was a couple years back, I would have said S. But like the mini games aren't really that great. I really like the lighting in the game. I think the lighting looks cool, like the blue and black. But the mini games just kind of don't really do it. They're kind of not very well implemented. They don't really all make that much sense. They're not that intriguing. They're not that engaging. Um, the custom night is very good. I've never played Enter Night, so I don't know how. I
haven't played it either, but I have watched it, so I can have like my own thoughts on it.
I'm gonna play it eventually. I just when I first played
the
game,
I never get past night 4.
I did it. I didn't know how to get into it when I first played the game. But I do very much like the game. It's just very cool. It's got charm to it. It's just it kind of aged kind of poorly.
Yeah.
It kind of brought the story down a bit. It just doesn't. I just don't really think about it that much anymore. If I'm being honest, I don't know how to say it without it sounding weird. But it's still a good game.
Yeah.
All right.
You're giving me reasons that it should be a B. You know what? You know what? I'm changing it to B. Also, this is the game where the Bonnie starts to get like absolute like just like left. I don't know why.
Bonnie and Chica.
Like where did Bonnie go? From here to now ruin. Where is Bonnie?
Yeah,
bro.
Bonnie's been left out.
Bonnie's a little plush with Funtime Freddy.
Yeah, he's
but
a puppet.
if we go to like security breach and like Pizzeria, where's Bonnie? Security breach, freaking Monty Golf took his spot. All right,
Bonnie actually has such. Because Bonnie in FNAF 3 is just considered Springtrap. Springtrap is supposed to be considered the Bonnie in that game.
Yeah.
Because he's Spring Bonnie. So like, it's so weird how Bonnie is just kind of treated in the franchise. Like Bonnie and Chica are a lot more.
You have the main three. They should stay in the entire games. Like hell, you could probably say Foxy's one of the main three now. If you say Foxy's one of the main three,
I say main 4. I say main 4. I just consider Foxy part of the gang.
Yeah. Like
I
that's
would
like that
say
point. Like from here on, you don't see Bonnie anywhere anymore. I mean,
the weird
Rockstar
thing
Bonnie.
about
You see Rockstar Bonnie in like Pizzeria Simulator, but like,
yeah.
okay.
I
Like, I'm
think
trying
it's
to.
weird how Scott. It seemed like, and this was something that also I felt like Security Breach tried to do, but the way they do it is very odd. Where they try to reboot the franchise and create new, different characters to make them stand out. Like from FNAF 1, you have Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. In
Mhm.
Sister Location, you have Freddy, Bonnie as the puppet. That's like the little hand puppet. You have
Ballora,
Ballora, Baby, and Funtime Foxy. And then in Security Breach, you have Freddy, Chica, Roxy, and Montgomery.
Monty Gall.
It seems kind of weird how they do it, where it's like they kind of when they try to reboot the franchise, they try to, or just like create new characters to be a part of the
Mhm.
band. It's kind of weird how they do it, you know?
From FNAF 1 to 3, they had the lore and the story, but then from FNAF World to basically Ultimate Custom Night, it was just about the lore because obviously with the books too, but I'm not
I'd
doing
argue
that.
that
Like,
it's up to.
like that.
I argue it's up to Rune. Up to Rune.
Well, no,
I
because
feel
that
like
help one, it's like the new phase of like the FNAF story, basically.
it's a new phase, but the way they do it is so odd because they try to go back and link it to old stuff. Like the way that Security Breach brought back Pizzeria Simulator was so weird. Like
Yeah.
it's odd. I don't really get why they did it. I felt like if it was just a new story where it's like the glitch trap is just a completely different entity and like the mimic is different from uh whatever his name from Springtrap. Here, we talk about that when we get to those games.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting off topic.
So,
I
so
think we're
you,
just gonna consider lore as well because we've just been doing it for every single
yeah,
one.
that's our bad there. So it's just we're not gonna change our rankings though.
Yeah.
We obviously
I
you
think
said
this is
B.
a good ranking so far. I think that's good.
Yeah, we both said B for Sister Location. We just have a little bit of changes with FNAF 2 and such. All right, on the Pizzeria Simulator.
Simulator. I'm excited for this one.
This one is my other S. I think there's
I'm putting an S as well.
there's three S's I have. There's three S's I have in this. All right. Now, why is Pizzeria Simulator S? So this completely does not matter. Like this completely like revamps the idea of FNAF. Right? You own. This is legit a tycoon, but made perfectly. Basically, like if you really think about it, this is basically just a tycoon simulator, but actually done really well. You have 5 days. All right. There's no 6 or 7. No, it's just 5 days. All right. And your goal is to make it to Saturday. You want to keep your business running. You want no lawsuits. You get this money you have every single time. Your goal is to basically just develop the pizza restaurant, add these fun mini games, make these safety stuff, and you can also, of course, play the games too, which also makes it way more fun as well. And you add these animatronics as your main set. You can get other like exclusives. You can get like deluxe sets. It makes the game fun. You can make it your own way. If you want to make it really crappy, you can make it really crappy. If you want to make it really deluxe like really fancy like, you can. That's what's fun. There's different designs you can make throughout the level. Now, of course, where's the FNAF part of this? Like, where's the 5 nights? Before you begin your day, you're heading out to the back alleyway. There's these 5 ones. You got Springtrap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Scrap Trap.
So you have Scrap Trap. You have Springtrap, if I'm not mistaken.
It's here. It's
the Scrap Trap Lefty for some reason. I don't know where the hell Lefty came from. Lefty. Then you have Funtime Freddy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. So it's basically Molten Freddy is entered, but Funtime Freddy's in charge, not Baby. And then Scrap Baby is just Baby. Baby was pushed out of the group. It was like told in like a teaser, like in the source files. Baby was pushed out of the group and possesses a different thing, which is Scrap Baby. So Scrap Baby entered, which is basically just Molten Freddy, which was Funtime Freddy. Scrap Trap, who is Spring Trap after the fire, and then Lefty is the puppet. But the puppet is like captured by a Lefty, which is like a
I forgot about that.
It was
That's why you see
a puppet.
And the thing is, it might be like, okay, but how does this restaurant thing help out with this? You're basically like the story behind it is you're trapping them into here, because then we'll get onto that in a moment. And also throughout the time, if you buy stuff, there's a risk value. So you might have lawsuits that you might have to deal with, which also brings another cool entity in the game that's like specific certificates. Yeah. There's 9 certificates in the game, which is where you have completely different ideas. You can get bankrupt before you even get to Saturday, and there's other ones that like lore completionist, because there's a ton of lore in this game. That's
blacklisted.
Now, if you don't choose, now obviously I'm gonna go back to back alleyway. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. During the alleyway,
if you talk about this game,
if you decide to salvage Scrap Chap or whoever was on there, What you'll then have is that at the end of the day, you have to go through all the ads, all stuff. You have to check off your things with that, and there are events right around you. They're coming after you, so you have to complete that. You have to click, 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 click. It's very tedious, but it's also very easy too. I think it's actually pretty easy because I've seen someone that where they just tap, they look to the right, tap, look to the right. They didn't even worry about the vents, audio stuff. You don't even have to do that. If you just hear the noise that comes to the vent, turn off everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like that is a cool idea. I like that idea, but it kind of like it drags it a little bit down. But the way that it stays at an S is like because of the reason that there's so much cool other stuff. You can play the mini games. There's cool lore there's cool story and lore abilities towards the game that makes it so much more fun that you can explore. You can play Midnight Motorist. You could play whatever the one is with the Chica. Yeah, Fruity Maze. You can also play a freaking box game with Helpy, bro, and just absolutely demolish Helpy. All right. It was just always funny that like the first time you do the Helpy mini game, you just laugh because of how funny the breaking noises of him. Like the little like box, you can put freaking safety straps on for some reason. Like where the hell is that? Like that's just the funny part about it though. Like I think there's just like so much cool additions you could have in the game that makes it an S, and the way that it tells the story is so well done. And I think, in my opinion, this is the best ending of any FNAF game. The way that the way that I believe this was Henry. I believe this was Henry who told it. Who was talking at the very end.
Henry delivers the final speech. You're playing as Michael Afton as well, which is also like. I'll just talk about when you're done.
Like you're basically Henry playing as one of the Aftons as well, and you're hearing the speech of him talking about how like he's burning his family, such, and also mentions how you as William Afton goes into Ultimate Custom Night and how that's part of this franchise too, and kind of like the ending stone and then the continuation of the next games. It tells the story so well. It tells the lore so well. The character designs are always funny. Hell, you can buy Pickles. I don't know why it's not available though. I think everyone wanted to buy Pickles. But there's just these funny additions to the game that makes it so valuable and so replayability value. Like hell, you could buy Lefty for $1. All right, like that's just funny. There's trash in the game that's funny. Number 1 crate. There's so many fun additions to the game that you can put in. Pig Patch, Mr. Hippo. There's so many characters. The designs are so well done. The music is so well done. The soundtrack is amazing. The mini games are fun to play. You can go through all those because you have so many tokens. And the way you can design your own pizza area is awesome. That's something that's so cool. I can go through, I can just make my own level and that's it. Awesome, bro. And it keeps the replayability because there's 9 certificates. You gotta do this and that and that. It brings you back in because you want to do more. You want to see what you can do and what certificate you get by just playing right off the bat. And I think overall it's just fun. The lawsuit's making it more interesting as well than just, get you through this and that. I think there's a lot of stuff you can talk about this game, and I think that's why I give it an S personally. Now, I'm going to let James talk here about why he thinks it's such rank and why.
Yes, so I also believe it's S tier. I actually think it's the best game. I put it above FNAF 2. I personally think it's the best. I don't know if I want to say it's the best yet because I don't know where Help Wanted or UCN is going to go. I personally think it is a very, very, very charming, well-done game. It's got amazing music. Most of the designs are pretty good. There's a couple where they look kind of rushed, but I don't really mind it because I like them all. It's very funny as Candy Cadet, as Fruit Punch Clown. Helpy is actually the best addition. Helpy actually has become basically like a new mascot for the games. He has appeared in every single game other than Fnaf AR since the release of Fnaf 6. There's 2 problems I feel like. I feel like the night sections are kind of a bit not fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually a bit more difficult than they seem, not even because they're hard, but just because they're very luck-based later on. You just can't you have to focus on one side and you just gotta pray that you just don't get screwed over by the other side. You have to either focus on Molten Freddy and Scrap Trap or Lefty and Baby, and it just kind of gets annoying near the ending.
And I also want to note that if you fail the night, you gotta do the entire morning day over again, which also sucks.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't take that long. You just go right back. You just click right through it. The other problem, which is not even a problem, I wish there was more. Because this game, so something that Scott said before was that he was either going to make Endless Tycoon or Ultimate Custom Night. I wish he just did both. Because I
Yeah,
personally love them both. I really wish, like, it can't even be a negative that I'm wishing that there was more because it's so well done. It's so charming. I just wish there was an endless tycoon mode with like a little bit more stuff. Like if he
yeah.
added like
I mean,
maybe like
hell, you can make
a
an
new
update where you
catalog.
add Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
There's
and then
there's night
Saturday and
6, night 7.
Sunday, and then just make Sunday go on forever,
Yeah,
and you could just get you just have to do they have to like face lawsuits and just add like maybe like 2 or 3 more catalogs of new characters and
yeah.
stuff, and you're gold. Like that's all he needed to add to make it so much
Hmm.
fun. But I'm not even saying that it's not fun. I'm just saying to make it a better game.
Yeah, you make it better than what I expected. And also, I think one thing I also want to mention is the alleyway is kind of like it's a little bit underwhelming because explain the alleyway is that like you look up here, look up, down. That's it. They move. All right, shock. You get 3 shocks and they move what 5 times. So all you have to do.
You five things to say. They can only move 3 times before the value starts to go down. It's the only one shot
Yeah.
them 3
So
times.
all you have what shock 3 times, right? They move.
Uh-huh.
And you have 5 things to take off. Look up, down. All right. Look up, down, shock, up, down, shock, done. Like there's nothing to it. You get a free 5K. And that's really it. And if you want to throw it out, you throw it out. I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah.
But the thing about throwing it out is that it's gonna come back. Like you throw it out because you don't want to deal with it in the night, but it comes back in the night somehow.
I also like how all your decisions like affect the difficulty of the game. If you get more ads, it will make the game harder because the ads are extremely annoying.
Yeah.
They get rid of your audio lure when they happen, and they're really
the
loud.
higher the risk means
You
more
in place.
lawsuits and more animatronics during the night.
Yeah. And if you buy high risk stuff for cheaper, it causes more animatronics to appear later, and it could cause you to make less money because if they're already in the building, you can't salvage them. So it's like every single decision you make in the moment will affect you later on in the game, which I very much do like.
And I think that's also why I will say it's at S. Now, like I said, obviously we are good. Anything else from Pizzeria Sim there?
I think that's it. I just want to emphasize how great Helpy is, and I like Rockstar Freddy, which we'll get to in a minute with UCN. I'm very excited to talk about UCN.
At the very end, you can hear Henry in the speech say,
I want to talk about the ending. Yeah.
The darkest pit of hell has opened, because that is where William Afton's going, and Ultimate Custom Night. The story is you are in hell. For what you have done to everyone else, you are in hell, and all the other animatronics are here to absolutely torture you. Now you can say you could say that William Afton is just in hell with Golden Freddy if you believe what Matt Pat says. But the main purpose of this is everyone's here and you're getting tortured for basically your sins. And you can see because you can look at this, the puppet right here. That's the crying child. That perfectly explains what UCN is. That perfectly explains what it is. Now, besides the story, what is it? It's legit just Custom Night, but better, like from System Location. Yeah. All these characters are here. You choose whatever ranking you want, 1 through 20, usual. There's 50 characters plus an extra 6 with the extra. If you count King DDD, it would be 57. But I don't count that. So, in the pair, if you want to count 58, but you get the point. There's so many characters you can do with different things. You get the FNAF 1, 2, etc. Even the Jack-O-Lanterns are here. That's awesome, bro. Hell yeah.
He did a very good job picking the roster, except for the fact that he left out Funtime Freddy. I seriously don't understand how he left out Funtime Freddy. Yeah, like that's like I think why I would give this an A. I think actually, would I give this? Okay, I'll wait before I start talking about it. UCN is just fun because you can choose what animatronic you want to do. You can learn it, then you'll pop a 20. Boom. In just a paragraph, you learn what the animatronics do in this specific one, and then you just learn it through a night. That's 4 minutes 30 seconds because they actually have a timer which is really nice. That's a small touch. That small touch makes it so well done. That is singular touch. There's different designs. They have different ways of doing it. Like for example, Chica, I believe Chica is now different. Like in the kitchen, she bangs pots and pans. You have to change the music every it's very much different now. Like for example, Toy Freddy, instead of the usual where he comes down the hallways, he's playing your game, but differently. Toy Freddy playing the game is an awesome touch. Like actually, that is really cool. You have to play a game. You have to play your game that you are playing inside of another person's game, and you automatically lose if you can't do it. I played now, a lot of UCN, and that's like a really annoying mechanic. You play with more of the animatronics, the problem is that it gets very overwhelming. Like, if you look at Dawko's 50-20 run, it was so overwhelming. There's so much stuff on the screen. There's
I don't understand how the hell you can actually do that if you don't put so many hours into it. Because the problem is that after you get over like, I'd say like 10, you are like, let me do this, and then this, and then that. Like, there's just so much stuff, and that's why I don't give it an S rating, because there's a lot of stuff you have to deal with once you add in more animatronics. The challenges are nice though. Like, they give you the ways, like they give you 1, 2, 3 bears attack. They make you you learn those characters, and you go from there. You can start off with 1, and they will get harder and harder as you upgrade it. Now, what's the other things I also like about it? I mean, well, first things first, one dislike is there's a duck system, there's a vent system, and there's the cams. Too much! Too much, okay? Because if you add in all the freaking hippo, like the animal type characters, like those, you have to deal with the entire duck system. And let's say you add in Springtrap, boom. Springtrap, right? You have to deal with the vents now. That's a lot to deal with. You have to do click. And then also the power system in this game, I don't like either. Because there's like a, so like on the right you can do like wind the mystery box, you can get you can do a heat thing where it makes you more hot room, or the AC, or like a power generator. The problem is that you have to lean towards one, so if you don't do the power, you have to hope that you don't use as much power as you can. And stuff that's like soundproof, you have to do like sound prevention. Like, it's very tough, like very tough. Now, of course, you can say, oh, but there's the pirate and the fox that helps you. Not always, because he does jump scare you, which is very like risk reward type thing. But he barely helps you. Now, of course, if you don't want to deal with those, you have King Dedede. Wait, why did I say King Dedede?
I noticed that earlier.
Listen, I always say King Dedede. What is her name?
It's DD.
Yeah, I always name it King Dedede. I'm playing too much Smash, alright? My bad.
Yeah,
alright,
all good,
Dedede. Alright, Dedede is a piece of shit. I hate Dedede. I always will. Fuck her, and I mean that, alright? Like, what Dedede does is she brings 1 to 6 characters. I thought that she brings a random character with the chance of being 1 of the secret characters. I didn't realize it was always guaranteed with being a secret character.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No, does Dedede bring... Dedede
brings in 1 character.
Yeah, and sometimes
it can be a secret character.
Yeah, my bad. I thought
actually,
you told me
sometimes
that.
she doesn't even summon anyone. Like, I've had times.
Yeah. Sometimes she won't summon anything.
Nothing gets summoned. Like it doesn't even say.
Like, that's the annoying part, because you're trying to learn these characters, and then Dedede comes in and messes that all up, and now you're scrambling over duck system, vent system, etc., trying to figure out who does she add, which means all over haywire everything, which is also annoying as hell. Now, of course, there's Dedede Repellent, which thank the Lord that there's a thing of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Dedede Repellent does not do anything on 5020.
Yeah, of course.
Regardless.
Now here's the thing about it. Now, the one problem that I don't give it as an S as well is that some characters you have to have fast coins. I don't like that. Like, for example, like I believe it's you have to get like. So, for example, I think, like, if you don't deal with Funtime Foxy, having to be on, like, the camps at, like, 6 a.m., you have to go grab 10 coins and then go deactivate. And, like, for example, like, Circus, I believe Baby, and then I believe Bonnie, I'm not too sure what Bonnie, but you have to go get 10 coins and go get their plush, and you'll never have to deal with them again. Which sucks, because that, like, you defeat the purpose of, like, the creativity behind that. Oh, you have to get 10 fast coins and then just deactivate them? What's the fun in that? I don't see the fun in that. Like,
there's
how
even less fun because there's a way just to not even do the fast tokens. What most people do for 5020 is that they can sit on the one camera, camera 6, I believe. I could be wrong. But you just sit on that camera and they just will not attack you. They'll just be stuck there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
As long as you do not click off the camera, and the like every single thing is a workaround, which I think is nice. You're just able to like what most 5020 people do is that they go into the ducks and immediately place down a audio lure, and they use the heater to back them up, so they never have to worry about them.
And then lastly, talk about UCN, because honestly, I could probably go about an hour talking about where should I, like, honestly, I could honestly make a separate video about UCN if you have the right person to talk about it, and talk about, like, where does UCN belong in the charts, because there's so much stuff you can talk about with this game. But I think the way he designed it, I think is well designed. Characters are great. Few flaws. I think the few flaws are honestly just mentioned about. That's why I don't think it's an S. You can honestly argue it's a B, but overall it's an A. The last thing I'm going to talk about these is the funny cutscenes. I think those are absolutely hilarious. I think those are absolutely hilarious. That's just funny. Like, you have a freaking dojo. You are in the samurai world, and freaking Foxy's over here as a samurai. What the hell? Then we have a story about Toy Chica. Like what? Where are we going with this? That's just the funny part, which makes people use like trash in the gang and such because you want to go see those cutscenes, which means that they have a reason instead of just throwing ads. You want them to be in, and eventually you'll need to add. Eventually, instead of having those easy characters, you have to add in the other ones, maybe like the duck system and such, because that makes things more harder on you. And it makes the people learn about those characters and such, which makes it really fun. But overall, I think I'm gonna give this an A. There's flaws that don't make it an S, but there's a ton of positives that keep it as an A. I'm gonna let James talk for his reasoning that it is such rank.
All right, I have a lot to say about this game. I'm putting it in S tier as well. It's below what's
Actually,
it called?
A.
It's below Pizza Sim and it's
I had an A.
below. Yeah, I know. I can see. It's below Pizza Sim and it's below FNAF 2. I very much enjoy this game. I really love the voice acting, which I think is also a positive. I think up to the only game that I'm not a big fan of the voice acting is Security Breach, which I'll get to in a minute. Like when we get to Security Breach.
Mhm.
I like all the voices that they gave to the characters. All the characters have good personalities that also fit the fact that they're robot like entertainers. Like their personalities are interesting while also being kind of shallow for like so they're convincing that they're like a Chuck E. Cheese establishment like characters. The story that Mr. Hippo tells are really funny. The all
Yeah.
everything like that, all the renders are really good. A problem with the game is that it gets dude, I'm getting so many Discord pings. The problem with the game is the jump scares are not very good because of how the engine this game is ran in is Quick Team, which is not very powerful. It's what Scott uses for all of his games up to like the help wanted is not used in Click Team because that's by Steel Wool. It's very underpowered, so the jump scares we're not gonna be able to be all added because it'd be too much for the game to run. So some of them are just PNGs, like Nightmare ANAs, Music Man's, the puppets, Nightmare Mangles, which is like actually like Nightmare Mangles and Wither Golden Freddy's are actually like the worst in the entire franchise just because of how lazy they are. Like they just do not look good. Um, I really do like the game. The story was good until Scott retconned you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say because I don't know
The
how
story.
true it is
What?
now. The story was actually like
The
retconned.
story.
It's not in hell. He's not in hell. He's in a coma.
Oh, he's in a
In
coma.
Fazbear Frights books, he's in a coma. Like he's being kept alive by like some random kid, but he's in a coma. He's not dead. And then he blows up on like a computer chip. Like this priest takes him to a location that he wants to go as like his final wish, and he
Mhm.
just blows up and like Afton blows up, and he like gets like some of his like I don't know, it's goo on a computer disk, and then that's how he becomes freaking a glitch trap. I'm not joking. This is real. This is the explanation for why UCN exists. They retcon the entire like purgatory like hell thing, which is so stupid. But um the game has a lot of charm. It's a lot of fun. Actually, a lot of the mechanics do work together well. There's a couple that are intentionally supposed to be outliers, like the ones that are meant to be extremely difficult. It comes down to a lot of RNG.
Mhm.
Funtime Fox is actually like unplayable with for
Well, yeah, because
50-20
you
mode.
like on six a.m. you have to be on that cam, and you
Yeah.
like it hurts.
Funtime Foxy, every single player who does 50-20 always has Funtime Foxy off just because you cannot have the time to go into the camera and look at it. There's so many like camera
Mhm.
setups that you need to have to actually survive, and if you take the time to go to that camera, it's over. The only character that the Foxy and Toy Freddy actually come down to a lot of RNG. People don't turn them off because they actually are RNG, so you can
Mhm.
win just by doing not very much with Toy Freddy. But Toy Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Foxy are extremely difficult, and they bring
Yeah.
they make 50-20 actually why it's difficult, and it comes down to a lot of RNG.
And
Um,
why I give this an A also is because the quotes from each character.
the
Some of
quotes,
them
yeah.
have lore and story aspects to why you are that character and explains how you are William Afton basically. And it
Mhm.
also explains Golden Freddy because it says like with such I think some of them talk about like he won or like you should have not killed the
Yeah,
one
the
something like
one you
that.
shouldn't have killed, and then
Yeah.
some of them like
And also
Valora,
some of them are just funny, just like freaking
yeah.
Mr. Hippo. I don't know if Orville has something just like Mr. Hippo, but it would be funny if it was just like that. But some
It's
of them are just like funny quotes, just like that, you know?
every single mediocre melody except for Mr. Hippo have lore in some of their like things because like there's a rare
Mhm.
chance you get this one where they sound like possessed, like either where like Fredbear is telling them what to say, like they have no control over what they're saying, but literally the only one without it is Mr. Hippo. Every other
Mhm.
mediocre melody has it. Um, I like
And you
the
can
voice
continue
lines
yours.
having lore is also a good thing to say because there's some like Ballora and Withered Bonnie just saying that they don't know where they're at. They don't know if they're trapped or if you're trapped or what's even going on. Like they're just kind of being held there in purgatory by Withered Fred, not Withered Fred, what the heck am I saying? By Fredbear to go after you. Like they don't even want to be there. They just want to go to the afterlife. But Fredbear's holding them there, or Cassidy or whatever, Golden Freddy
Yeah.
is holding them there to get um to like just torment Springtrap, or not Springtrap, William Afton. And that's why later on when they go to Old Man Consequences tells him just let him die because he's what Cassidy's doing is or Golden Freddy's doing is keeping him alive, which eventually causes him to escape through Glitch Trap. Or maybe not escape, but a clone of him to escape through
Hmm.
Glitch Trap because he's still being alive, he's still being held alive, he's not being taken to hell. He's just kind of in this purgatory state.
Yeah. So overall, you said it was what, an S or an A?
An S. I think it's an S, in my opinion.
And yeah, overall, there's a lot of stuff I could talk about, but we just went through this, just talk about our examples and such. Overall, I think this was a great game. Designs were made well, and I think UCN is an A, and I can come back and play in it. Now, real quick, I need to say, do I think UCN is better than FNAF 2? Honestly, I think it is. I think, in my opinion, I think UCN is definitely better than FNAF 2, but I don't think it's like. I think it's definitely a close. I think it's close, but I don't think it's like a narrow thing. But I think I would definitely say UCN is better than FNAF 2. I had to get that out of the way before we hop on to Help Wanted. Put this shit in the S tier.
Yeah, I'm doing the same
Put
thing.
that shit in S tier, bro. First off, holy shit, that is scary as hell. Oh my gosh. If we're ranking the scariest, put FNAF 4, Help Wanted, and FNAF 1 in the scary tier, in the S tier. Because, oh my gosh, if you do not understand, because the difference, like, here's the difference, right? The difference between all these games and Help Wanted is that you're looking at, like, obviously you can see right here, I have a TV. You're on the couch and you're playing, and you obviously hear the ambient sounds. That makes things more scarier and the jump scares. However, you are in the game this time. You don't have a little bit of an angle of view where you can hide yourself and peek. No, you have to suck it up and you get jump scared. Because what they do in this game is that they bring back FNAF 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4? No, not 4, right? Not
4 is in it. The games that they didn't bring back was they brought back
Sister
a couple
Location.
characters from Sister Location, but Sister Location like isn't really there. It's just Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and the baby. That's why they're making a second game.
Yeah.
The second game is gonna focus more on Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator
Yeah.
and stuff. That's why the second game's being made. Like Ballora did not even appear in Help Wanted, which is really weird.
And Help Wanted, you basically have these 4. It's not 5 nights. That's actually 4 of them. It's now 4. And each and every time you obviously hear the same phone guy, you know, blah blah blah. But you can also turn it off now, which is also nice. And you have to complete. You're basically playing FNAF 1, but instead of you being the phone, being the security guard, you're now an actual security guard, and you're actually the actual character. Like you're in his perspective this time, instead of be like a little bit far back of you. Like you're close up, and you can peek through the sides, and you can see that animatronic. For example, if Fox is coming down, you have to quickly close the door. Like you have to quickly tap that light and such, and it just makes it so scary. That goes for FNAF 1, 2, 3. It keeps the aspects of those games and also makes it way more scary and way more fun. Like, it actually gives, like, a reason for each one. Like, I think the Phantom ones are actually way more better. Like, I think they have a far more purpose and actually a far more threat and Help Wanted than what they did in FNAF 3. I think they did upgrades throughout those games. I think FNAF 2 Help Wanted is way more better than the FNAF 2 original. And I think that it's on par with many of the other games. The mini games are fun, besides Plush Baby, because that's annoying as hell. Plush Trap, they bring back Plush Trap. That's a fun game mode. And then you also have Night Terrors. So if you that's the 5th night, and it's all this like blue, pink, black, like it's just like this like color palette that basically it's just like way more harder mode. That's basically your 5th night, which is so cool. You also have basically you can check through Bonnie and such with Chica with the parts and service, basically the repairs, and then you have vent rooms where you see Ennard. That's awesome. Like there's so many cool mini games and stuff that you can do throughout the game. Now, what's the fun part about this? The coins and the tapes. The tapes keep it with the lore, but I'm not gonna mention about the tapes because it is part of the game. But I'm only gonna worry about the game for this one because the lore is like a separate thing. But I just want to talk about the game because that's really what I want to focus on this one. And then you get coins that you can unlock different stuff with. You can unlock a Freddy. You can unlock, I believe, a basketball, a Freddy, I believe a bat. I'm not 100% sure on all the prizes, but you can get so many fun stuff that's just for a specific amount of coins. And there's
you get a cockroach.
Oh yeah, you can. I forgot about that. You can also get a few stuff as well from going under each of like the drawers that are in throughout the FNAF such. And then at the very end, you get this prize stuff, which is a cool little toy you can hold as well. And also, funny part, you can eat them. I don't know how, but it's just, and you can hear the guy just like absolutely
if you eat 3, you die.
Oh, you actually? I didn't even know that. Really?
You choke on them, and if you eat 3 figures, you die.
Oh, yeah. Somehow your guy can just eat them.
But you're fine. You're fine eating cockroaches though. If you eat 3 cockroaches, you're fine.
Oh, well, yeah. But yeah, you get the point. There's just so much fun stuff about this game that I don't really need to explain. Like, it makes you basically not you. It feels like that you are the security guard. It makes you feel like that. Instead of you being like, your point of view is the security guard, you feel like you are the security guard, which makes things more fun. You can peek out of the doors for once now. You can see different things throughout the levels. That's really cool to see. And it makes things very easy. The mask is easy to grab this time instead of clicking a button. It's easy to tap the doors. Lights. I will say it is a little bit difficult to turn off the lights because you gotta tap it like twice.
Yeah.
And it could stay on, which forces power. But I think besides that, there's hardly any nitpicks you can say. And also, I mean, I never played Chris Dreadbear. I'm gonna let James explain that one, which is why I haven't never played.
Chris Dreadbear is awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna explain it, but I haven't played it. I also haven't seen a lot of it. But overall, what I've played to Help Wanted is I have a lot of fun with it. I'm excited for Help Wanted 2. I think this deserves an S tier. It's one of the best games that they made. And a FNAF VR? Hell yeah, I'm in. That was great. There's so much stuff I could talk about, but I think I already explained it in the span of 5 minutes. There was just so much stuff that they did right about this game, and they reworked some of the stuff from FNAF 4, 3, and 2 that made it way more better than the original game. That they fixed up all the rest of the stuff. The Phantoms of FNAF 3, they feel like they have an actual purpose now, because you have to, because it's less time for you to click through the cams in FNAF 3 and FNAF 2. You have to wind up the music box, you have to use your other hand. It makes you use your other hand instead of just having one, which is so cool. Like, that's the coolest part.
FNAF 2 is made easier in Help Wanted because you're able to do multiple things at once.
Yeah. But it makes it less overwhelming, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. It makes it less RNG focused because...
Yes, it's far less RNG. It's more about skill, which makes it way more better.
You're able to have the music box playing while you're multitasking, which I think is almost more fun.
And also, I think the jump scares are the funniest part. I think that's the funniest part of this game. Hell, freaking Foxy's freaking beak is in your chest, bro. It's the funniest part. And the jump scares feel scary. They feel frightened, just like FNAF 1 and FNAF 2. They feel super scary. They are basically movable. They're basically move animatronics. They have just like basically just like a hand moving out or such. They make it where you feel frightened, you feel scared, you feel like you want to complete this night, and it makes you feel so good. But it also makes you scared of shit. Now, that's enough for me. I explained it why I was in S tier. I'm not introducing the VHS tapes because, honestly, I don't think they're a big worry to talk about, and also there's a ton of other stuff I could talk about way more. And also, the ending is pretty... And the ending has a few endings, but main point is that glitch trap escapes. That's basically the main point. Alright, James, where would you rank this, and why?
S tier, best Five Nights at Freddy's game, in my opinion. It knocks everything out of the park. This was the first one where I got, like when I became really, really, really big in the fandom. Like, because before, I was just a fan of, like, Sister Location, FNAF 2. Help Wanted just became, like, turned me into a super fan. I loved this game. I loved following everything about this game. I remember when it came out, I would just, like, go home, and, like, I wasn't really supposed to be on my phone very much, so I'd just sit in the bathroom, and I watched Fusion's entire playthrough of the Entered Night, because I thought the Entered Night, like the Entered part, what is it called? Vent Repair. The game is really, really, really good. For Steel Wool's first game being developed, and actually the first game developed without, like, where Scott's not the main developer, it is really good. They knock it all out of the park. They do a great job at making the game scary, making it gross, like the cockroaches and everything. The models look mostly good. There's a couple that don't really carry over very well. Their Springtrap model, the Toy Bonnie model don't really look great, but most of them look really good. The game is scary. I think the main games, like the first 3, do really well. Like, they were designed to be in VR. Like, they were carried over very well. The own sections that they have, the Vent Repair and the
Vent Repair and Repairs. Yeah,
and the repairs are really, they're intriguing, they're engaging, they're scary. Just Steel Wool knocked it out of the park with this game.
Yeah.
The lore also I thought was interesting because it kind of felt like a fresh start. Where even though there was glitch trap,
what Matt and other lorers have said, it was like the start of the new of like the new timeline for FNAF, which I think like personally for this, I think what they were just trying to do was obviously start up the new lore and such, but they were mainly focusing on just the game aspects, and I think that's why it was a fantastic game.
Yeah. And then we had Glitch Trap, which I think Glitch Trap is amazing. Glitch Trap is such a cool character. He's got a great design. But what this game does even better is the DLC with Cursed Dreadbear. Cursed Dreadbear has so much charm and so much effort put into it. There's so many Easter eggs. The game itself is spewing with personality. The only thing I don't like is the fact they brought back plush babies that did not need to be there. Why is there a plush babies mode in Cursed Dreadbear? Who asked for that? But there's the build a mangle where you have to build your own mangle. There's its own like Halloween mode of the game where you get to play FNAF 1, but it's got separate mechanics with the Jackos and Dreadbear. There's a ton of other like unique things. There's a pirate Foxy ride where you get to ride around in like a fictional ride. Foxy theme where you get to shoot stuff like targets and stuff. It's so charming. It's so well done. Steel Wool knocked out of the park of this game. I love this game.
My
It's definitely the best FNAF game ever made.
My only dislike is that the plush baby is kind of just like a pray to God that you just shine on the plush baby that you find quickly enough, because
Plush
the problem
babies
is that
just weird.
it's
I don't know
not
why
that bad, but the problem is that she's so sporadic. Is that she's so sporadic and you can't like basically mess up. Like if you can't find her within like 5 seconds, you're dead, which is a problem. That's personally for me though. Like if you can't find, like it's really like terrible, and like you have this small flashlight you could barely do, and you also could run on the flashlight too, which also sucks. But I think that's why James gave me the point. I think FNAF Help Wanted is definitely my favorite in the franchise and probably the best. It's definitely on par with these three. None of these upcoming games are gonna be in the S tier though. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Have you ever played FNAF AR?
AR, I've not played. I've not seen a lot of content on it. That's why I'm gonna put it never played. I'm gonna let James talk about this one.
I can talk about FNAF AR. I have a lot to say about this game. FNAF AR, I had on my phone when I first got it. I got it for Christmas and I started playing FNAF AR. I really did enjoy the game. I know the game was controversial even on launch. Like, people were not big fans of the gameplay. It actually created voices for... Freddy got his own voice for the first time, and the only time he'll ever have a voice, like the original Freddy. And Toy Bonnie got a voice, which I thought were great. They were great additions. The voice acting in the game was really good. The sound design was also very good. There's really cool, like, robotic noises that play. I thought the game was fun. I was like the goat at the game. My old YouTube content was all based around it. Most of it's unlisted, so you can't really find it now. But I probably have like altogether probably like 100 hours in this game. But the company behind the game, Illumix, since it was a mobile game, they monetized the hell out of this game, and it brought the game down. As time went on, when COVID hit, so the game basically every month or so would get a new character added. So like when it started off, with
Jeez.
Huh? I know. That's how it started off. It went from Toy Chica with Freddy Frostbears came out in like a month after launch. Then Toy Bonnie came out in January. February, Toy Freddy dropped. March, Mangle dropped, and then COVID hit. And then what they did to adapt was they basically created skins for the characters, which I thought were interesting. I really liked them at first, but it gave them an excuse to be lazy because like 3 years later in the game, they were still making skins every single week, and like no new characters came out for like a full 2 years, and until we got Ballora. The game just was a money-making machine for the company, Illumix, and I don't think Scott was very aware of like what was going on, because I think he kind of pulled the plug on the entire thing. The game just kind of, or no, Illumix just kind of left. They left the game after it stopped making money. They just kind of left. They never finished it. Like, they set up some really cool things. Like Plush Trap, when he came out, he had his own little AR thing where it creates a map on your phone and you can play the game like with an entire map. And it happened again with another update, the final update to the game. Not the final update. It was the Horror Circus, and then Funtime Freddy came out, and then they stopped updating the game. But the game it was so much fun on launch, but they updated the game as well as like a big gameplay update, and it ruined everything. It ruined the progression of the game. It ruined the most of the appeal of this game was just collecting the characters, like building up your own collection of like animatronics. It was interesting. It was fun. I like collecting stuff, so I really enjoyed the game. But they ruined the progression by locking characters behind levels, and it slogged the game. The game is basically unplayable at this point. Illumix has left it to rot for like the past 2 years now. The game's not been updated in 2 years. and it's just basically in an unplayable state. There's no reason to actually pick up the game anymore. There's no reason to play it. It's still like number 25 on the charts for an adventure for a game that has been updated in like 2 years. It's like pretty banging. Actually, I think it's even higher. It might be like top 15. But they just don't update the game because it didn't make them as much money as they wanted. They stopped caring. It was a greedy company. The head person just is not a good person. The game kind of just got left to rot. It's F tier. Before it probably would have been A tier. It's F tier now. Not a good game. Don't play the game unless they update it again and fix the problems. But that's never gonna happen. It's been 2 years. That's never gonna happen.
And where would you rank it?
F.
Oh, F rank. I don't have that on there because I don't think any game's in F tier personally for me. Okay.
Security breach. You can start with security breach. I have feelings towards security breach.
There's his opinion on AR. I never played it. If you guys want to agree or disagree, it is. Also, of course I still have his video up on this. So let's continue on security breach and ruin, and that'll be for the video. I also apologize for being very long, but honestly, I think this is it's a good quality video for this being that long. I think this is gonna be a very fun video to watch for people. But anyways, let's get on to the last two. So, first off, these are two completely different things. They have two different stories, two different lore aspects, and a completely different game. Alright, that's why I didn't count like custom night sister location, because this is actually what it was. Sister location. That's part of the game. That was just an add-on to the game. That's not like lore aspect stuff. Just besides like freaking Purple Michael Afton. That's basically it. But like besides these two have completely different stories. They have completely different stories, completely different aspects. That's why I have it as two different. That's why I'll have it as two different things. And also this has way more aspects to it. Now, security breach. First off, I cannot see anyone say it's an S or an A. I cannot. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the beginning was atrocious. Okay, we had to go through a shit ton of bugs that really broke the game. All right, you could freaking see speedrunners get this done within like 5 minutes, bro, because of how annoying these were. One example.
After like a week, people found out how to beat it in like 3 minutes.
One example of these was that you had to you basically were stuck in here after giving the badge, I think level 3, and you basically had to make sure you close the doors and such for whenever they come through and such. One example was there was this little section in the back, like one of the corners, that you can get stuck that Rockstar Chica could not get you. So you could honestly just not worry about that and then just wait until until Rockstar Freddy fixes it. Until Rockstar fixes it, which makes it really, this is why I don't see it as an S or an A, because of how bad it is. But besides all of that, how was the game made? It was kind of like an adventure type game. Like you go through this area, your goal is to get to 6 a.m. and you have these like little like goals and stuff. And you have these little goals you gotta get throughout, like break Rockstar, Roxy. You have to break Monty Golf, whichever one you choose. But and you also have to help out Rockstar Freddy because he helps you and such. And he's basically broken down, and then you see Vanessa and then the bunny run through. But it doesn't the designs I don't really like because you're kind of just running around doing chores. Like that's basically the quickest I can explain. Like you're running around doing chores, and I don't like that. I don't see it being an S, A, or B. I think it's a D. I think this is my only FNAF game I think is a D because the experience beginning was really bad, but then after the bugs, it's like, you see that I think my favorite part, honestly, was the Sun and Moondrop playground area because that was fun, but it was so tedious getting those 5 generators without Mr. Sundrop absolutely demolishing you, bro. It was just so annoying. Just doing these tasks. And, it just felt like a freaking chore list to just do this and that and that and that to help out Rockstar Freddy and such. And mind you, at the 5 a.m. mark, 5:50, you gotta get to, the end of the thing without getting killed by Sundrop, and you have no section breaks in between. That's it. You have to run through the area without Vanessa spawning you. You're legit just running around doing chores for freaking Rockstar Freddy and such. I just don't like that. There's cool little, extras you can find with the security badges, but besides that, there's nothing. I don't see the fun about this. Now, I'll get to Ruin. I definitely think that fixed a lot of the problems I have with Security Breach, but I just don't see the positives out of Security Breach that I can give it more than a B. That's why I give it a D personally. I think this is the only D tier thing, and I think I would probably not play this again, because I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, of course, first time playthrough is always fun, but besides that, are you going to really go back and say, hey, I like this game, let's play it again? I just don't like the designs. I don't like it. Personally, I think it's just, I can't see it higher than an A or S. I could see a reason why it's a B or C, but I think it's D just because designs weren't really well. It feels like a chores. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's just mainly the point of security breach. Like, you're just doing chores, and like the lore wise, like you're just helping out. You're just getting out at 6 a.m. That's really it. There's nothing else about it. You're just playing hide and seek with. You're basically playing hide and seek and doing chores. That's the entire thing. All right, that's enough for me. I'll let James talk about his opinion, which I think is actually probably higher than me.
It will be higher, but I'm still not really a big fan of this game. There was clearly a lot of love and effort put into this game by Steel Wool. They just kind of ran out of time. Basically, they had a deadline, and they didn't have a deadline. At the start
But
of the
they pushed
development,
it back like a
basically
year.
yeah, it was like the game was in development for like 2 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was they added up so much stuff to the game. Like they were like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and they built an entire giant mall. And the mall itself is very good. Something that Steel Wool is very good at is creating good-looking environments. Like the mall itself was spectacular.
Yeah, I do agree on that.
It doesn't really
and the
lend
teasers
itself
were
well
cool.
to a
The
video
teasers
game.
hyped me up. The teasers did hype me up. I will say that.
It didn't lend itself well to a horror game, I guess you could say, because it's kind of just like running around and messing around is the entire game.
Yeah, that's really what it was.
It's supposed to be like a story here, and there's supposed to be like a campaign that you're supposed to follow, but like most people just want to run around and check out the mall without the animatronics. The other problem was the stuff that they built up was there was no good payoff. Like Help Wanted built up Glitch Trap and an even cooler character, in my opinion, Vanny. I really love the idea behind Vanny. Switching up the main antagonist of the franchise into just like a like I thought it was just like a crazy lady who just loves like serial killers. Like she idolized Springtrap or whatever, William Afton. But it wasn't really that. She just kind of was possessed, which was kind of lamer. But she wasn't in the game. They switched up Vanessa. There's so much stuff you could tell just by launch that they switched up. Like Vanessa clearly was not supposed to have a different role in the game, because in the early teasers that said protect, it seemed like you were gonna play as her, and she seemed like she was gonna have a role in protecting Gregory from the thing, from whatever the threats were in that game. And if you watch the trailers, her voice is like trying to help you. If you rewatch the trailers, which I'll encourage the people watching this video to do, and rewatch all the trailers where it's like Vanessa is trying to protect Gregory from the threats, but in the game she does not do any of that, and she's just kind of like
and she's just roaming around.
She's an annoying character. She's an annoyance. She's got and I liked like they changed her entire like personality and character throughout the development of the game to make it easier. She was gonna originally have a bigger role, but they scrapped that and made her less of a role. And the same thing with Vanny. I felt like they were pushed off to the side. And then they realized that the game had to drop for Christmas, and they brought him back over.
Yeah.
And threw him in the game really fastly. The security bots were kind of lame as well, because they were just an excuse to get the animatronics to chase you. Because like it was just because they didn't want to really do much pathfighting for the animatronics, so they just made
Vanessa was
you went to a security bot, things come after you.
So mean, Vanessa.
I also was not a big fan of the characters themselves. I hate Roxanne Wolf. Roxanne Wolf is such a bad character. Roxanne Wolf is such a bad character.
Her voice is annoying. Her design. I
don't even understand why people even like her.
James here has definitely proved to me a point that Roxy is terrible, and I do agree with that.
Roxy is terrible. Doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. It's like artificial intelligence. That's
Freddy's cool. Bonnie's cool.
I really like Freddy. Freddy's awesome.
I really like Rockstar Freddy. I love Monty Golf. I love his design. I love his design. I love his voice. Like I think, like of course not in the weird way, but the voice he uses, like the voice acting there.
The voice is really good. Yeah, I wish he had more personality. Like I felt like he had a lot of stuff building up for him, but it just kind of just says rock and roll, and that's it. And he goes, "Hey, little guy." That's all he does. I feel like I'm on the same thing with Chica, where I like aspects of her, but I don't really love her. Like I like the thing, like how you watch her animations where she's walking on like a side and she has her head tilted. She's the most like a monster out of the entire group, because she just eats raw trash. Like she's supposed to be friendly. She's supposed to be like the opposite of what like I guess Wither Chica is, where she's supposed to be friendly but looks menacing. Where I feel like the Glamrock Chica, like Wither Chica is supposed to look friendly, but like with her giant gaping jaw and her missing arms and everything, she looks menacing. I feel like the difference is with Glamrock Chica, I like the flip around, where she looks very like friendly, but she's menacing in the fact that she just is just like a monster. Like she just eats stuff, but I just didn't really think she just didn't really do enough. Like I'm just kind of going all over the place. I don't even know what to talk about.
Yeah, trust me, me
Them
too.
bringing
That's what I
back
did too.
Springtrap just as whatever his name, Burn Trap was kind of lame. It was like whatever. I don't really care. Vanny should have did more. I really wish Vanny did more. Actually, I really wish Vanny did more. The pizzeria underneath is kind of
Oh,
lame. It retcons
it's
everything.
Security Breach and Ruin. We're gonna talk about differently.
Yeah, I know. There's
Oh,
the what's it called? The pizzeria's in Security Breach as well.
yeah.
In the
Oh, yeah.
But overall, I think the game is like probably like a C below FNAF 4, probably
Mhm.
above. I've ranked just the Freddy in Space games. It's above Chica in Space and Freddy in Space 2, but
Mhm.
it's not going any higher. The game had a lot of care put into it. There's a lot of the animations look great. The voice acting, even though I'm not like a big fan of all the voices, I think the voices are cool. The animations are great. The models look great. There's a lot of like the music's really good. There's a lot of love and care put into the environments and like the arcade machines. There's so many references to the games. They clearly cared, but they just kind of ran out of time. And you
Yeah.
could tell with everything, they just threw the security bots in there because they couldn't like program
Yeah,
actual
and they
AI
also
for the
had a lot
robots.
of
They
bugs and
couldn't
glitches
do
throughout the
stuff.
game as well. They
Yeah,
had to
the
put.
glitches as well.
Mhm.
It's not bad. I like the game itself. It
This
just you could
game.
clearly tell that they just kind of ran out of
Mhm.
time.
And
And
this game
really
being
I
only
enjoyed watching
released.
my original playthrough of the game, just like
Yeah,
going back to it. It's not really
and
like it didn't age well.
watching this game, you can only play it really in like PC or PS5. Like that when they first
Yeah.
released it,
PS4
there's
is
like
unplayable. PS4 is unplayable on
yeah, it
launch.
was absolutely unplayable. There's no way in hell you could survive on Xbox. You could survive on Switch. Like unless you have like in the next gen console, you can only survive on that.
Actually, I
Like
heard the Switch port is actually like pretty okay because it wasn't Steel Wool didn't do it. It was another company that helped with the port, but that
mhm.
was also after the launch of the game, so
Yeah,
they were able to make stuff better. Like the
yeah.
Xbox and Switch version should be better just
I
because
think
it.
the visual play of the game honestly got better after all the updates. But I still think
Mhm.
I just cannot go through and play it again. Like I just don't see the enjoyment of it.
Yeah. I'm enjoying playing it myself. I just think it had problems that just
Yeah.
annoy me. Like even if I like I actually really do like these like weird fetch questy kind of games. Like I like Bendy and the Ink
Mhm.
Machine. These games I like where you just kind of walk around and stuff happens and you have to go and do like stupid side quests and stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I just think like the little bugs just annoy me.
Yeah.
Like change in the story annoys me. Every
Mhm.
the bugs and stuff annoys me. But
And
I
like
still do
how
like the game.
a specific objectives makes you somehow progress 15 minutes in the night.
Yeah.
So I do one job and I'm now at 4:30. What? I
Yeah.
felt like I was doing that for like an hour. Like that's the only thing I did not like. And obviously we both had disagreements. Where would you rank it?
I ranked it in C. I might bump it above FNAF 4 because I'm thinking about it now, and I actually do think I like the game more. I'll keep it there for now.
Mhm.
Because actually there's a lot of things I do really like about this game. I just feel
Mhm.
like the negatives are bigger than the other games because
Yeah.
every single FNAF game, the majority of the FNAF games have their own negatives that bring it down. I just feel like this one's just got bigger ones, even though it has a lot of charm put into it. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the game. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't hate the game. I like the game. I just
Mhm.
don't think it's a good FNAF game if we're ranking it.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it's a good game. I'll go as far as to say it's a good game. It's just not a good FNAF game. There
Yeah.
you go. That's what I'll say. All right.
So
Time for Ruin.
on to our last one for this. Also, I apologize for how long it is. I mean, most of it will be kept in because we're explaining it. So if you don't watch it, I'm gonna have
Yeah, this is
timestamps.
like a video you
Um,
watch on the side.
yeah,
Are you doing
I'm
something?
gonna have timestamps in the description of what specific stacks you guys want to see on opinions. So if you guys want to see a shit on FNAF World, oh wait, no, I'll have a timestamp of that. And also these last three here, I had never played, but James has, so I'll let him rank it after we do Ruin, and then from
Yeah,
there we'll
I
go from
didn't
there.
really rank them very much. I'll just say what I said. I put Furry's Rage in F right above FNAF AR. I put Freddy in Space in C, Freddy in Space 2, and put Freddy in Space 3, Chica in Space above Freddy in Space 2 just because I think it's a funnier game. But they're below Security Breach and FNAF 4.
All right, well, there
I
you go.
don't think they're like spectacular
On
games. I just think that they're fun little games.
on to Ruin. This shit was so hyped. Bro, like the amount of hype that was behind this was absolutely insane. All right, like the 1-2 trailers they gave out was very good to tell. Like, I mean, of course, Security Breach. I think the greatest part about Security Breach was like Freddy and Friends trip. That was cool to show like weeks before it came out. But
Mhm.
on for Ruin, they just showed a couple teasers and that was it. And I think for how well this game was made, I give it an A. I honestly give it an A. It was a lot of fun. Me, my cousin, my older sister, my younger brother, we wanted this PS5. We have Ruin downloaded because it was a free one, of course. And then what we did was just play for 6 straight hours, and we had a lot of fun. There's these cool secrets. We get to see Bonnie Bolt. We get to see how Rockstar Bonnie was not in there. There's so many cool secrets, Easter eggs, and abilities that they have throughout the game that is really cool. And to add on, they did what Security Breach should have done, or what Security Breach should have been, where you have objectives, but you don't have to do them right away. Because Security Breach, you're required to do them as soon as possible. You're required to do them. You're required to do them in a set amount of time, and that's it. Of course, you didn't have to, but you kind of have to because you didn't have to, but security bots would force you to. But in Ruin, they allowed you to do free roaming, to explore, to see these little Easter eggs, and see all this stuff on how to get there and such. And the thing I think Ruin did right was the endings compared to Security Breach. For Security Breach, you had to either leave at 6 a.m. or go out at 6 a.m. or just stay until after 6. But what they did with Ruin is that there's 6 different endings that you can get. The first one is easy. Go left. No, I'm not kidding. Right then left. That's your first ending. That's the easiest ending you could possibly get. And that's cool because it shows you the freaking ice cream ending. That's awesome. I think the way that they did with the endings is just so well made, and I think it's so well done. It's just very cool and very nice. And also the way that they adventured through Security Breach, but it's now basically demolished is so cool. You basically are, I believe, Cassidy, who's actually, well, I know Cassidy. Is Cassidy Gold Chica? Or is this a different Cassidy?
Cassidy is a different character. She sounds a lot like Cassidy from Cassidy's the Vengeful Spirit. That's Golden Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Cassidy in this game is a very good. It's a very good friend of Mr. I forgot his name. That's Gregory, yes. And the purpose of this is that you are getting chased by the Mimic, which apparently I just found out because I looked on Wiki of talking about a lore with someone else during my class today, and apparently it's part of the Afton family. I don't know how.
I
don't know that's.
I'll explain what the Mimic is in a minute. You can finish up before I explain it.
But basically, you're getting chased by this Mimic, and your goal is to basically get to the end. And I think one thing, and of course you have to chase through, do these objectives, but the objectives are actually have a purpose, the generators are actually well done there. You don't have to worry about getting chased by them because you have a lot of time to take a break, relax. If you fail a jump, you just have to do it again, but you get checkpoints. That's how you do it right, game. That's how you do it right. You have checkpoints because you get the second generator done. Boom, checkpoint done. All right, now you have to worry about 3. That's way more better than having to worry about doing all of them again. Now, of course, I believe Ruin, you have to do the generators again in Sun and Moon Drop. I'm not too sure because it's been a while. But the point of it is that there's just so much more there's so much more free roaming that you can do. You can check out the Easter eggs and stuff. That's just way more fun than what Security Breach was. Every single time I saw it, it was just so much fun. I think also one thing they did right was the characters. Because they didn't show it a lot, but they gave mysterious to the story and lore. Roxy explaining how you were at the birthday party was so cool to see. That's awesome. You made a character that people might dislike into someone that actually is generally a good character because of how your story is being told from that. That's awesome. And you know that Roxy, from what Roxy's told from you, you know that you had to do it. You have to do it for Gregory. And Roxy comes back and saves you. I mean, well, we don't know yet. Because we still have no idea what the hell's going on at the end, which I'll explain. Because the ending is... Whoa! The ending's just what the hell was that? But, and then you have Rockstar Freddy, which we don't know what the hell happened to him. But, we don't know what the hell happened to him. Rockstar Chica is gone. You see Rockstar Bonnie. We see the reason why Rockstar Bonnie was there. That's also really cool to see. But throughout the game, there's little trinklets of Easter eggs that you can get and find that does not force you to do the objective yet. You have your time to go backwards and to continue if you'd ever like to. And I think what Ruin does right is the endings. The endings have specific sections that you can do whatever one you like. They're very easy. They're very well known. You can look it up and they're very simple. Now, the ending I'm going to go with, the ending is kind of weird because your main goal is to get to Gregory, but he actually wasn't real. And then you have this freaking, I don't even know what the name of it is. It wasn't the Mimic. I don't actually know. But
yeah,
then
it is the Mimic.
Then you get chased down to the elevator, and then you hear Gregory again, which we don't know if it's actually real Gregory or not. And then now you're stuck inside the elevator, and then Roxy comes in and actually demolishes it, and then we don't know what happened there. Honestly, we have no idea. Because there's, we have a freaking random, like we see like there's this other ending where we see this random duck boy. Like what's going on? Because Ruin gives the like what Security Breach did was which one is the right ending, which people think is Princess Quest or the one that you leave at 6 a.m. I don't know which one that one is still, but then at Ruin they give you more endings that are like which one really is it though? Like that's the main thing. Like that's why I feel like
the real ending is most likely just the normal one where you just get chased down by like the endoskeleton mimic. The other two are definitely not canon.
And also the thing about Ruin is it connects Pizzeria Simulator. It connects it. So now it gives a reason that you want to play Pizzeria Simulator. So now you know what that building is like because Candy Cadet comes in and explains a little bit more about it. The lore and such throughout this game was so well done. And I think overall it's an A tier. It definitely stepped up what Security Breach could have done. And I think I could honestly play it again. It was a lot of fun. And you can also go back to specific chapters as well if you just want to see, if you want to get to that specific ending. Because it keeps all your saved progress, which is also so nice. I'm going to let James explain it here, and then I'll do an outro.
Alright, this might be one where we differ a bit on opinion. I'm putting it in lower B. I don't think it's... I really did enjoy it when I first watched it. I just think, like, with more time, I kind of get to think about it, and I still really do like the game. If it righted most of the wrongs that Security Breach had, it was very well put together. It being more linear, where you gotta follow a straight path the entire time, instead of giving you so many branching, like the entire Pizzaplex being super overwhelming. You just go down and you do the thing that you're doing. I feel like Cassie was a more... Cassidy or Cassie, I don't remember which one her name is. She's a lot more likable of a protagonist over Gregory. They made Roxanne Wolf not an insufferable asshole, which I enjoyed. And every like they actually made me care about Roxanne Wolf, which is crazy. Montgomery Gator also getting like a bit of like Montgomery Gator when he quote unquote dies. I don't know if he's dead, but when he gets electrocuted by the Bonnie sign, I also thought that was really interesting because it kind of shows him finally getting like the payback for what he did to Bonnie. Like when he killed Bonnie, because it's theorized that he was the one that killed Bonnie. It's very funny how the thing that takes him out is a Bonnie sign. I thought that was really interesting. Getting to see Glamrock Bonnie behind the wall with the pats was very interesting. The ending with the Mimic is a really cool antagonist. I still prefer Vanny over the Mimic, but I still do very much like the Mimic. I think the Mimic is a great way to branch out the story a bit. The Ruin just was good because they basically made it more linear, so there's a lot less bugs on launch, which was very good. There's actually like nothing on launch. There's like only one bug that I'm aware of on launch.
Very rare bugs.
The character, the AI, like the little glitch trap guy. I don't remember his name. I actually don't even remember how. I can't remember his name. He was a very cool character. He was a good.
I also love
like,
how you can put on the
that was
mask.
glitch
That's
trap.
really cool too. Seeing
The
Vanny's mask.
mask is very cool. The Glamrock Helpy that was like mixing you up, like making you think he was a good guy, but he was the Mimic or whatever. That was very interesting. And overall, the game was good. I just think that it's probably just gonna be in B tier with Sister Location and like FNAF 3. 'Cause it's a good game. It's a very good game. I just think that like compared to the other ones, I don't think I'm gonna rate it as high. I don't. It doesn't feel fair to rate it as high because it kind of shouldn't have had. I think it gets a lot of respect just for fixing Security Breach, but like them making it more linear and stuff, I don't know if it like gives it the bypass to make it higher. But I still do very much like the game. I liked the ruined sun and moon. That was really cool. Eclipse is a very cool character, and Glamrock, Chica,
and
like
also
the
the collectibles
shattered,
are really cool. I
or
think what Security
Chica.
Breach and Ruin did right was the collectibles. I think that was very.
The collectibles are very cool. Yeah, when I'm playing the game, I really like the collectibles.
Yeah, very unique idea. I did like that. Ruin gave a lot more collectibles that were like not part of like Security Breach, but I think that's also why I gave it an A. So overall, anything else you want to say?
Nope, I believe that's it. I'm just gonna throw the Curse of Dreadbear and Help Wanted.
Yep.
Like I'm just gonna throw them.
Also,
and
this mobile port. This is apparently the mobile port. I never played this, so that's why I'm gonna keep it there.
Yeah, it's the mobile port of Help Wanted. It's only considered different because it has a Princess Quest minigame.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna have up on the screen right now is basically me and James's tier list of what ours is. Because I have his video up as well while he explains his. Mine's on the left. Mine's on the right. What are differences? So for my S tier, I have Help Wanted, FNAF 1, and Pizzeria Simulator. James, what is your S tier?
Help Wanted, Pizzeria Simulator, FNAF 2, and UCN.
And then for A tier, I have UCN, FNAF 2, and Ruin. What do you have for A tier?
I have FNAF 1, FNAF World.
And then for B tier, I have FNAF 3, Sister Location, FNAF World. What is your B tier?
I almost said Springtrap. FNAF 3, Sister Location, and Ruin.
And then for C tier, I have FNAF 4, and then D tier, Security Breach. And what is your C and D?
I have FNAF 4, Security Breach, Chica in Space, and Freddy in Space 2, and then um F tier is for Fury's Rage, Help Wanted, Port to Mobile, and Fnaf AR.
And then overall, so obviously overall, you guys can see
download the image and I'll send it to you.
Most of us, most of the rankings, we were mostly agreed upon. I think the only one we kind of had we didn't really have a 2D grade rank. Like first time I said Ruin was A, he said it was B. FNAF World was swapped as well. But you really have a disagreement. We kind of just had different opinions towards it. I'm like, it was great or good. Like honestly, I think overall we both agreed on it. And there's our tier list. And I know, like I said, it was a longer video. That's because we went into about 15-20 minutes of each game about why we liked it and such. So if you guys want to see the entire video, you guys have timestamps in the description if you guys just want to see a specific section. I'll be posting mostly this entire section besides the parts that my mom yells because, yeah, during that. I thought this was probably going to take like 30 minutes, but we definitely went in a lot more in-depth stuff. So
that was more like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and I do like to apologize for James being here for 2 hours, but I do thank him for doing that as well.
Dude, I loved every moment of this. I love making little tier lists in my head. Yeah. So I had all these already spots all memorized in my head already.
In my description, I'm gonna have James's YouTube. Even if he doesn't stream or upload, I'm still gonna do it regardless because it's good credit. The original tier list, I'm gonna have it in the description as well if you guys want to make your own. And in the comments, you guys can banter and argue about which ones are right. And lastly, all my socials are in the description, as well as the timestamps for whichever one you guys want to see. We went in order, and I also have James's description of his in the timestamps as well. And thank you all for anything else, James?
Yeah, I was just gonna say for my channel, I'm just gonna start uploading Source Filmmaker animations, and most of them are gonna be related to FNAF. So if you want to check out my channel, it's not up yet, but eventually I will start uploading stuff. I just want to make sure that it's ready to be uploaded. So you can see FNAF animations on my channel eventually.
This will most likely be out tomorrow, or as you guys can see it, we were recording this on Tuesday, so this should be out Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'll be streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that should be fun. We'll have Mario Kart. Basically, it's just Mario Kart, it's Mario Kart, and Fortnite stream, so that should be fun. But anyways, thank you all for watching. You guys know the usual, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, so many subscribe to me, enjoy videos. Go subscribe to Meehman007. He legit dedicated 2 hours of his time to making this tier list with me, which I thank you for that, of course. It's a good old collaboration.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here. If you ever want to do one on characters or any other tier lists, hit me up, bro. I'll be here. I loved every moment of doing this.
No, if this took us 2 hours, the characters will definitely be...
I'd have to dedicate an entire day to.
Yeah.
Or we'd have to talk less on the characters. You'd have to talk less on the characters.
Yeah, we have to talk way less on the characters. Or do a live stream about it.
Chris before, but...
Yeah. But overall, thank you all for watching on this. I'll have my social in the description. I'll have James's YouTube in the description, and I'll have my Discord and such, and thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and this is Ninja signing off. Peace!
Adios!